let's look at dealing with strike throw. So we have to make this understood that there is no right or wrong answer. It's just a process of elimination and reading into the situation. Okay. First off, let's take a look at what our options are. Our general options, right? So let's say we use a different color for this too, yeah? Can we get this right? What are our options? So what are our options? All right, let's look at them. We have fuzzy jump, backdash, throw tech. We want to. We have burst, block, and YRC. Right? What else do we have? We can mash them out if we want. We can attempt to mash. Attempt to mash them. Attempt to, yeah, we'll say attempt to mash out. Right? I think these are some pretty sizable options. We can also say reversal super, or we'll just say reversals. Generally speaking, these are our options, right? Generally speaking. Right? So, coming back to again, fuzzy jump, backdash, we can throw tech, we can burst them, we can block and YRC, we can attempt to mash them out. We have reversal options, right? What else can we do? I got one. Just take the throw. Just take the throw, bro. You can always just do that, right? Right, so then we can look at, like, we can start rating the difficulties for these, right? So it's clear if we use, like, so let's say difficulty rating, right? Difficulty rating out of 5. Let's say we use a difficult rating out of 5, right? So, throw tech, obviously, it's probably a 5, right? Actually, let's go up first. Let's start with, I think the fuzzy jump difficulty is, it's on the lower side of difficulties. I would say this is like a 2, give or take, right? Backdash, this is definitely a 1. Throw tech is probably the most difficult. Burst is definitely a 1. Block and YRC is more of a 2 because you're still guessing between throw. This is a 3. Reversals will probably be either a 3 or a 4 because of the reversal window. And just taking the throw is just an absolute difficult thing to deal with because of the damage you're going to take. Okay. So if this is our difficulties ranking, give or take, right? This is tough. And yeah, matching out with a 6 frame, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. Out of our difficulty ratings. So we don't want to have to deal with this. But we have to make a choice. Right? At the end of the day, we have to make a choice. So I'm gonna come down here. Yellow. I'm just gonna say we just have to make a choice. Right here. So yeah, you've got to make a choice. And no matter what, you gotta make a choice. This is the hard part, is you have to make a choice. I think this is where we all fall short. Because we don't want to have to make one of these decisions. But your decision can be made based on, like, what can we base our decision on? I think that's the hard part, right? What do we base our decision on? Player habits? Okay. Player habits. What else? Previous decision. What else? What else can we look at? What other information can we take into consideration? Our health, our current HP, right? Meter on both sides. Risk gauge. So knowing that we have all this to kind of look at, we can still add more to this for sure. Frame advantage. That could be another option, another thing we're looking at. So we have to make a decision though. This is the problem. So why I present all these options to you, right, is so that we can somehow, some way make a good judgment call. We have to make a judgment call, and this is hard. This whole situation here, all of this here that we have, all this is hard. There's no two ways about this. This is just a part of playing good defense. But when all these things are considered, we can then choose one of these. See what I'm saying? So essentially, this, right? Let me make sure we get this right. I'm gonna move, yeah, this should be fine. This affects this, right? And vice versa. Right? This is a direct correlation to this, and this is a direct correlation to this. This is why this is difficult. Oh man, the menu kills everything. But yeah, this is it. So dealing with strike throw starts with understanding these things first. Once you understand your options in general, then you have to make a judgment call on one of these things. The difficulty, so here's the thing. The difficulty is predicated on what you've seen. Right? So if we go off of player habits, his habit so far has been to, so let's say I'm gonna record Soul, right? We're gonna do this right here in this corner. We're gonna crouch and guard. So let's say this is his habit. His habit is to tick and then throw, right? So now let's look at the options that we have. Backdash beats tick throw. Okay. So we have that as one. That's where I'd love to pull all this to another side, but we'll keep working with this for now. So we know now, right? So if you got your notes out, write in your notes. Backdash naturally does beat throw, but we know the tick throw situation is common, and we can use backdash and we can blow it up, right? And let's assume also, actually, we'll just assume that there's no meter, right? We'll just assume that he has no meter, or he does have meter, but he's not thinking about using the RC to PRC, right? So we can do that. We can fuzzy jump. We can YRC the tick, right? We can reversal super. Okay. Or if you have a DP, you can DP. You can throw tech yourself and create some space. You can get a go burst. You can get a defensive burst. So you see what I'm saying? You can pick and choose. So now this one comes off of player habits, and the one I just had just right here, which was previous decision. So let's say you got tick throw, right? On the next mix-up now, it's safe to make the assumption that he's gonna tick throw again if you saw the first tick, right? It's safe to make that assumption, but it doesn't mean he can't blow you up for it, right? Use a different button. If it does a proper delay string, he'll catch your backdash. If you fuzzy jump, you can block it. Aha! So fuzzy jumping is a good choice. So let's make a quick addendum to fuzzy jumping. I'll put it in like smaller. Fuzzy jump, possibly the strongest defensive option you have. Okay. Let's make sure we kind of keep this as a thing. And I'm gonna put a small box around it. I'm gonna make this clear. No worries. We'll come back here, click this. I'm gonna remove. I'm gonna just use training slot 1, and I'm gonna take that display out of the way for the dummy information. So I want to keep things. This is more visible. So in my honest opinion, fuzzy jumping has always been one of the strongest options in Arc Sys games in general. Right? See what I'm saying? So, once again, what do we base our decision on is it correlates to our defensive options. And in my honest opinion, fuzzy jumping is some of the best you've got. Because what ends up happening is it beats the delayed string, and if they try to throw, you're out. Okay. So the fact that you're out of there and you make them whiff the throw is huge. Which is why fuzzy jumping is definitely one of the strongest options to escape. But again, it's all based on the you know what we can base our decision on. Everything correlates to this. Where Jacko has her hand out, correlations. See what I'm saying? So everything has to be taken into consideration. Now they could just throw you and then run up throw again. Fuzzy jumping will beat that too. So essentially, I guess the next question or the thing that probably raises in your mind is like, so why wouldn't I just fuzzy jump against, you know, all the time? There's answers to fuzzy jumping. They can tag your feet. You know, if your fuzzy jump is done incorrectly, they can tag your feet. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. I don't really need to demonstrate that. Just know that you have 4 frames of jump startup, and those 4 frames, within those 4 frames, you can get hit. That's the bottom line. That doesn't really need a demonstration. You just need to understand that concept. The idea here is to beat the throw. Right? And we don't want to take the throw, bro. we just don't want to take the throw. So, looking at the difficulty ratings, fuzzy jump, backdash, like now that we kind of know this, we can kind of start playing this like, how do I put this? We can start looking at some of our greatest options, right? I'm gonna use this sky blue here to kind of highlight what I believe are some of our strongest options to escape. Okay. Maybe we can use this circle. I'm gonna, in gold, I'm gonna put fuzzy jump. I think is outright one of our best. I think fuzzy jumping is outright. This is the gold option, in my opinion. I think fuzzy jumping is like the god. Straight up. That's just me. Actually, I'll use the. Despite the difficulty rating, I think this is the strongest defensive option against our throws. And then, I think from that point moving forward, right? Backdash is great, right? I think burst is great. Block and wire C. This one's tricky. Right? This one's tricky. I think block and wire C is strong, but you have to be this one, and I'm gonna put this in this color because I think it's important. Because block and wire C is good, but this one requires a degree of care. This one requires you to be careful. Okay. Now, on the lower end of the spectrum, you have some of these, like first off, let's just make sure we put this out here. This right here is just no. We don't want to be taking throws. Oops. Let's use a beautiful. I think this one definitely deserves its own. Like no, we don't want to just take the throw. This isn't Street Fighter 5. This one's just a big no-no. So, out of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options. 1, 2, 3, 4 are your best. Because the attempt to mash out or Obare, this is risky. Right? So if we start looking at like this, all of these are risky, right? All of them. Everything here at this bottom portion, they're all risky. All of these are risky options. This, throw teching back, it's also a risky option. Okay? So, we essentially have 4 options that are really good in this regard. Now, this does change for big bodies, because fuzzy jumping for a big body is tougher. Okay? So, I'll add this as an addendum. Let's go here. Let's make this a bit bigger. Or it is indeed harder due to 5-frame jump startup. Gotta make sure we put this out here. So if you play like Potemkin or Nagaryuki or Gold Lewis, this is important to know. Okay. Somewhere here. Is visible? I think it's white. All these things, all these decisions are all predicated off of information. And it sucks to get thrown over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, but you know, it's just part of the game. At the end of the day, what I want you guys to understand is no matter what you do, a choice has to be made. And everything is based on player habits, previous decisions, current HP, meter on both sides, risk gauge, frame advantage, and many, many other things that are not listed here. So if you understand these choices, or if you understand like this makes dealing with this, I won't say a lot easier, but you can make a better, well-informed decision. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what you want.